guy?
And find something you're passionate about besides Ziggy.
Hey guys, I see a Sand Angel is the wiener of the evening, and then Lips got second place. Wiener. Seems to be the popular opinion. I couldn't tag her weird ass name, and well, I could do the. I don't know how she does all those squares and everything, but this whole my title just shows. Actually, this situation shows how misinformation gets like spread around so easily, and something from a year ago resurfaces, and now. Anyways, we'll talk about here in a second. Hey, that girl, Kathy, Sherry, Heather. What, Athena? She's looking through the gate at me. Why are you staring at me? So, what's been going down? I also got we're gonna watch. Somebody sent me the video, found the video of when I first met Fred, and unless you want to think that this was like staged, then I mean, which is really, really crazy that somebody thinks I would stage something like that. But I mean, there is some crazy shit that goes on here at YouTube. Crickets. That was a good one. So that's the Maleficent or whatever. But just so she was tagged, that's what she has in her little after her little @ symbol. Well, I feel bad because I kind of went off on Squall. I don't know if she got my text though, because honestly, I sent an apology text today and I didn't get a response either, unless she blocked me after that text. But it's crazy. And you know what? I'm not going to feel sorry for, wishing crotch rot on Maleficent, because why would you put out information, something intentionally? You guys, you're going to see here how she did it, but she clipped, and this from a year ago. Okay, but this is where it ended up. Who it started with was Maleficent, not Squall. It was Squall's live that whole comment was said about the Christy Vincent introduced Ziggy to Fred Hill. She wasn't saying that as a statement, come to find out. She was reading somebody's comment that they had posted in the chat, and Squall was just reading the comment. And then she actually went off on the person and said that it was not true, and she made a post tagging Maleficent, calling her out for it. But you'll see here. I just don't want to have to. Actually, here. maybe we won't go to that. Yeah, we'll go to this. I don't know who drew that wonderful piece of artwork there, but it's magnificent. Shannon Lynn, I mean, Maleficent. Anyone can go to my video and see I was reading a comment. Tis, tis, tis. Why would you, Maleficent, why would you use the Summer Wells case to purposely put out false info? You knew you clipped that just perfectly to make it look different than what it actually was, what was actually happening. That's into the, I mean, people, this is, we know the people that are putting out this false info, a lot of it is the clip channels because they're clipping shit in certain places. And this is prime example. I bitched out freaking Squall thinking that she said that. I don't know. Nobody, I think, has really figured out who Squall is, but I find it interesting here that this was made a year ago, guys. This whole clip of where it says Christy Vincent introduced Ziggy to Fred Hill, which is a complete lie. We're about to watch how I was introduced to Fred Hill, and Christy Vincent, I don't think has ever even, I don't even think she's even knows of Fred Hill, or even, I don't, you're going down. Oh my God. Marshmallow, why can't you ever act civilized? Gosh, I give you chance after chance after chance. Hey, Mama T. Anyways, this was posted over a year ago, and we'll show it. Actually, here's the clip, that original clip that it came from. And well, that's not exactly the right one, but I wanted to show you guys this, because right here, she has this video for to Summer Wells, okay? Like, she cares so much. Summer Wells, where are you? Like, she really cares, because she's spreading false info purposely about the case. Like, if you really care that much, why would you intentionally try to put out false info just because you have beef with a creator, you weirdo? Hold on, let me find this clip here. Here we go. Hey, Jam. It's always, and you know, it's so irritating too, the ones putting out, like, they do it behind these freaking fake names and avatars, never show their face, but talk the most shit. Look at what this bitch purposely put out, spreading misinformation. She clipped Squall when she was just reading a comment out of the chat to make it seem a certain way.
Christy Vincent introduced Ziggy to Fred Hill.
So this is during one of Squall's lives, and somebody in the chat said that, to which Squall actually, I think, went off on him, from what I hear. Not really went off, but said that it wasn't true, or that, you know, don't spread misinformation in my chat because it caused problems with other creators or whatever. Then she posted that post that I just showed where she's saying Shannon Lynn, which I wonder who Shannon Lynn is. Hey, Gina. Really? I'm tired. I feel tired. It's been a long evening. And look who's decided to join us. Come on. No. Fluffball. Oh, Squirrel Tease is her other account. Well, it wasn't Squall's fault. Come to find out. So I do apologize to Squall for. See what happens? You know what I mean? Like, misinformation like this, it causes so many issues. People don't think, they think they're being funny. They think that they're doing something, that they're not hurting anybody, that they're just hurting Ziggy, or they're just hurting Christy. They don't think out, you know, they don't think the aftershock, like, this is all pertaining to Summer Wells. Sorry, I have cat hair stuck to my lip. But it's all pertaining to Summer Wells' case. So you don't care too much about Summer Wells if you are trying to confuse people about the case. I know you live overseas, Maleficent, but spirit animals, they're supposed to be royalty. Will you stop doing that thing to my leg? Hey, Jerry. In Tennessee. But once again, here's this post. Once again, for those who are just getting here, when Squall responded and said that she was just reading a comment. And obviously, Maleficent knew that because she's the one that clipped it. God, these people are such horrible people. They do anything to try to hurt somebody. You know what I mean? Because they're so jealous, because their lives are so pathetic. God. Because it's BS, because it's not about. I'm more mad that they're bringing Christy into it, because Cat, because she truly thought she was doing something good. And then look, and she's out $8,000. Got scammed by Brad. She was just trusting Brad, and because everybody was thinking he was just a godsend for the Summer Wells case. She was trusting him like everybody else did. And that includes Tiffany Marie. You got, for those that have been around for the last year and a half, you were around and to see when Chase 423 was like, people just thought he was a godsend. When he was just a voice, he was the man without a face. Before everybody was always just like wondering who he was. And then come to find out he was a scammer the whole time. Hey, Robin. Squirrel is friends with Dawn and Candace's husband to their house. Probably. I mean, me and Squirrel don't have really the same opinions. Okay? Cat, what is going on? He knocked over my speaker. Okay. Yeah, me and Skull don't have the same like opinions on the case or anything, but she's actually been pretty cool with me, so that's why I was kind of I was so irritated. But now it makes sense. It 100% makes sense now. Now that I see it was, especially since it was a year ago, and that's when Maleficent was like, I was her like favorite topic. But Christy Oscam, just like the rest of us did, or a bunch of you others did. She just got, her and her husband literally, because people think that, she was so wealthy or something because she's a doctor's wife, but he's a general practitioner. He's not a specialist. Okay, that's one thing to remember that she wants people to know. Also, they give all their extra money. It was, what it was supposed to be, and what that whole donation for the billboards was supposed to be? It was supposed to be a tribute to her husband's daughter who passed away. Her husband's daughter, not her daughter. It was supposed to be done in remembrance of her. And look what happened. Look at the shit show that happened out of it. Trying to do a good thing, It doesn't help when you got people like Tiffany Marie and Maleficent putting out stuff intentionally to make. I don't get it. You can't possibly care that much about Summer. Like you say, that you're like a mom to Summer, or whatever Tiffany likes to say. How can you say that when you cause so much drama and BS lies? Have told me to check you out. Why did Squall delete videos of Candace and Dawn when they were drunk? Whose address is what you know? She's mixed up a ton of shit with almost everyone. Have you seen Sage Sluice? I watched the first couple videos of Sage. Sage is, you know, and I tried to get a hold of her because I really don't have time to go through it all, but I know I should. I don't know really what it's about. I mean, I also was contacted by Chicken on a Stick, and I tried to reply. If she sees this, I tried to reply to you, but now it's saying, I literally think she's like hiding. I don't know what's going on. So I don't know. Some people can't really take the heat on here on YouTube. People aren't used to it. They're not used to that, like to the negativity that's on here. $46 through $50. I'll have to check it out for sure. About what JT? What's JT? Well, can we just like, I don't know, can creators just make a pack that we're just gonna put out like honest, like the truth, what we act, I mean, not intentionally put out misinformation? Because I know it's all of us accidentally sometimes say things that aren't exactly 100%, and it can change. A little bit of a small mess up like that can turn into a big thing. Okay, just like this one little comment of Squalls that gets clipped and made into something completely different. But I just wish that, yeah, I mean, we're going to accidentally sometimes put out misinformation, but intentionally putting it out it doesn't make sense to me, especially when it's the ones that want to like try to act like holier than thou. It's always those ones. The ones that are intentionally putting out misinformations are the ones that are like attacking others and acting like they're perfect. Oh, and plus they never go on camera. And they don't go by their real name. People that don't have anything to hide, they don't care if people know who they are. I'm sorry. I mean, I understand creators don't want to I get it, not want to put your personal life out because your kids and stuff. But really, like, I don't care if people know my name and look into my background. I don't. Just like I don't care. Christy was also saying, and I agree, I'm the same way. I don't care what gets out. If somebody, records me without me knowing or something and it gets out or something, I don't care if it's anybody could put out any of our phone calls. Like, I have no problem with that. Because when you aren't doing anything shady or talking shit about people, then you don't care because it's, she said, I'm available for questions if needed. So there's Christy right there. If anybody has questions. And if so, I didn't really ask her if she, are you wanting to just stay in the chat, or I don't know if anybody has really questions or not. I was going to show the video when I first met Fred, but if anybody's having questions, just, you know, please let me know, because like respectful questions, not stupid questions that you already know the answer to, but are trying to like flip it and just be an asshole. Like legit questions. Hey, Toaster Evans, good to see you. Okay, so since we've gone over this is when we'll go ahead and play the video when I. Oh, dang it. Just copy it and paste. Here, I need to switch to my other account where I have YouTube Premium. Okay, here I am driving along.
It's yucky. Oh no, it's not yucky. Hi, puppy. Hi, puppy. That was yucky.
This is on Ben Hill Road, so you'll see, you know, see how long of a road it actually is. There's Fred Hill's mom, it looks like, on the left. So this is the very first time I went to Tennessee back in January of 2022. Yeah, I was trying to be nice about it, so I said crotch rot. Right, like. Sharon, I'll check it out. We'll do it. I'm looking. I think I remember.
The light's on.
Oh. Yeah, I have it pulled up. Sorry about that. Here we go, guys. I'm scared. What? Listen, guys, this is exactly how it happened. Did you just hear me? I said I'm scared. Okay, this is legit how it happened. This is right when I pull up, and because I said I'm scared because I hadn't met him yet. Do you think this is some kind of skit? Like, man, that's some good acting if it is.
Are we going up?
I'm scared. What? You start walking towards me.
No, stay here, please.
Why? Stay here. right here, the reason why I'm getting out of the car is because I saw him walking down his driveway. I had waved at him, and he waved back. And after he waved back, he started walking towards me. And so that's why here I'm getting out of the car and telling my daughter to stay behind. Right now, at this point, I have a local following me. It's not Kath, or it's not Christy. It's Kathy Gordon, who's in the chat right now, who's already told everybody that she was the other local that had went with me to Fred. So it's already been put out there. That's why I'm saying it. And actually, it was my idea to go back here. Back down Ben Hill. We had just got done talking to the tree people, and I said, hey, let's go back down Ben Hill Road one time, because earlier we had been down Ben Hill and we talked to the Redmonds at the end and didn't see Fred at that point. So after we went up to the church that has the little prayer garden, and we were looking at that and kind of looking around out there. I remember I really had to pee, and I was trying to find a place I could pee. But all of a sudden, like, these big trucks came up there. That's truly how it happened. After that, after we talked to those guys and stuff, that's when I said, hey, let's go back down Ben Hill and let's see if, Fred's there now. And this is the point where I'm filming. I'm driving down Ben Hill, and this is the point I see him outside.
You got the dog. Huh? Hey. Stay in the car. Hi, puppers. How are you? Are you the one that drove by me the other day while I was standing outside?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Are you by chance Fred?
Yeah, I'm free.
Okay. Just the man I've been wanting to see.
That's how I met him. Yeah, you can see Fred's house from the road for sure. I didn't ignore you. I said I pulled up your email, or I pulled up your email. Remember, I just said, you asked if I had seen your email, and I said, I'm not sure. And then I just searched it, I pulled it up, and I started laughing because it was that music. It's that Bitch Clips channel. Yeah, I saw part of it. I was scared the first time just because, like, it was my, the stories I heard and stuff, but I had a local with me, and, it was still light out. So, it went totally fine. But this is exactly how I met him. Are people really going to think that that's all staged? That's strange. You think the whole it's all staged? I said, hey, are you Fred? And you think the whole part with me saying I'm scared is staged? And, if you could hear the local that's with me, she's trying to make small talk with Laura. You could hear Laura to come outside, and the pup that ran up to me is their little Chihuahua, and you can hear the person that came with me that's a local, trying to make small talk with Laura and just trying to open up that line of communication, because she's a local and she was just trying to, that's how we were able to talk to the Redmonds, because they knew some people, the same people. We can listen to some of it. Yeah. That's fine.
So Don Wells talks really highly of you, doesn't he? He likes to throw you under the bus, doesn't he?
I know. Right off the rip.
Nobody, I've been trying to get a hold of you. Everybody wants to hear from you and what
Get down, Sissy.
what
Get to the house. Go on.
what
Go
your
Go.
Oh.
Should jump all over you.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, and just listen to the language he uses and how polite he is. He's so well-mannered. But let me just say real quick, too, I did hear back from them. I wanted to say that while I remembered. They messaged me back. They're going through some stuff. And there's somebody from here harassing them, and I think that's part of the reason why they're not messaging people back, because they're getting annoyed because somebody from YouTube is blowing up their freaking messenger and telling them, if you don't message back, I'm going to call TBI, and being just really stupid. It's somebody going by Jesse Moore or something. Anyways, can you stop harassing them? Get a life. Romantic first date. I just kind of snorted. Anyways. So yeah, we'll watch. I don't have anything else to really talk about. We can watch this. It will be a little bit reminder, but I'll re-upload this, I guess. Actually, all you have to do is just search, Ziggy's very first conversation with Fred Hill. Or I guess I could re-upload it as, a short clip of how I met Fred Hill. I mean, you never think like things like that are going to be important, or, you know what I mean? I don't think about stuff like that. I never thought I'd have to be, recording phone calls and getting cameras and have to be extra. People are crazy. Yeah, so I am glad that I heard back from them, because it was good to know it wasn't me. They get like that. I mean, so it's hard to tell. When I heard a rumor, when somebody emailed me and said, oh, like there's people, I guarantee there's been people contacting them trying to get them to not talk to me, but I don't see that happening. I mean, if they do, they do, you know what I mean? Yeah, you just have to laugh for sure.
It's okay. Hey, sorry. I wanted to talk to you that time. You passed me. I was too scared to talk.
I ain't nothing like everybody that's on.
No. So you're the infamous Fred that. Yeah. So why does Don have such a problem with you?
I had no idea, because I know a lot, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. So what do you know? I'm investigating.
Do you know Chris Donald? You know Chris Donald? Sandy Chris.
Okay. Oh.
You don't know? Okay.
No,
I don't know hardly nobody. I mean, really. I don't get around much. I stay right here and don't worry travel or nothing.
I came by early, read it, and it didn't look like anybody was here. So why?
Well, I was down here picking up a trailer.
So why do you say you know too much? So what do you know about?
They're guilty as hell.
You think? What do you think?
Within 3 hours he was here, and I was gone when the little girl went missing. Well, there's a friend of mine come, and Candace was walking off my driveway before she even called 911.
So she was.
It's like you're trying to set me up for some reason. That's what I.
Had to walk away for a second. But yeah, so this part we found out is not exactly true because he got that from his friend Chad, who told him that Candace had come by there. She was actually driving by. But I do think, I don't know, I do think she's, I'm not sure though if she got out of the car. I think she did. I don't know if Chad, I don't think Chad, I haven't talked to him. I would love for him to, talk to me, but thanks, Pauline. Because I'm a chameleon. Chameleon. Isn't there a song called that? I can't sing it like that girl at all. I can't sing at all. No, he was so nice. I just was surprised.
I feel.
So Candace came by here. Was she acting like she was looking for Summer?
Yeah, that's what she was acting when my friend came.
So
he said that she was walking off the driveway, walking.
Was she by herself?
Yeah.
You mean she walked?
No, she drove her vehicle down here, didn't she?
She was walking.
She walked all the way from Ben Hill?
Mm-hmm.
To here.
I just like Don, he was home that day too.
Was he? Do
Yes.
you think he was?
Yeah, and went to work that evening. After Candace got there.
So, you think he was home that day?
Yeah, I know he was.
You saw him?
Fact. Yeah.
Where'd you see him at?
At his house. Because I was in and out hauling junk that day. I was hauling a bunch of old cars and stuff out. And like Andy, he was in here that day.
I want to talk to him. Can you?
And he swears that down he's at work. He ain't. Because he was in here at 3 o'clock. Because I had to pull over and let him by. And that red Toyota truck. That's Jody's mom's.
Dude, I
you
have
guys
thank
say
you.
that she had a
See, I know. See, that's why they don't like me. There's just like when he went about that coke, he come right here to try to get me to do coke with him. I tell him I ain't wanting to.
Wait, was it when he claimed that he went to
$2,000?
Yes,
whatever.
that was on my YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, he was doing it himself.
Yeah, he remember he said we were like, "You're not."
I'm laughing because he's like, yeah, he was doing it himself. And I'm like, oh yeah, for sure. And that's when I bring up the crack fairy. Let's pants anywhere. Hey, Chevangelo. Oh yeah, I was gonna bring up so I don't miss any. Some things don't show up on StreamYard. Yeah. So you guys also got to remember that this is at the 6 months after Summer went missing. So a lot of these things are questions I'm asking. A lot of the stuff that he's saying I had never heard before, but at this point it's redundant. At least you think. People still somehow have the shit wrong, but I guess maybe it's just because I lived it that, I went there and would want to talk to him. I seriously can't believe that still nobody has went and talked to him. I don't know now, I don't know if part of the reason why they're not being as talkative, they do have to live in the same neighborhood as Dawn, you know what I mean? So I don't know if he's just he talked to me that at this point Dawn was out of jail, and Fred's not scared of Dawn at all. Dawn's a freaking coward. Sorry, Dawn, but you are. And a wuss, too. It's on the same road, my mother's eye, but it's on Ben Hill, and I would say, like, it's all the way Fred's, of course, Dawn and Candace's is right at the start of Ben Hill, and then Fred's is like right at the end of Ben Hill, which, you're going kind of slow because it's a dirt road, it's crappy road, and a lot of twists and turns and hills. It's definitely a mile, I would say. I don't know. Does anybody who from the area who's gone by there a few times, what would they say? I should have taken, measured the distance. It seems like at least a mile. But see, it would be a really hard walk. Like, that's what I knew. Candace didn't walk down there. And come to find out that was, not exactly true. He found out that he talked to Chad again, and he said that she was in her vehicle. She did drive the vehicle down. I'm guessing she probably did get out of the vehicle at some point, but I can't say for sure. He is a wuss. He Oh, did you guys, we got to listen to that too. Here, let's go. We need was that might have been something I was sent by, we have to watch that real quick. Right here. I was at first trying to. So this was on Justice for All posted this. Let's listen to this real quick. We'll get back to Fred. But this is only like 30 seconds, okay? It's a little clip from Justice for All, and at first I didn't know what he was trying to say with this, but now I do. We got to remember this was last night, a Friday night. So remember what Dawn takes off and does sometimes on Fridays. Remember what Margie said?
He didn't take the opportunity to mention
He just left, y'all.
Who did, Don?
Yeah.
Why?
I can't answer that.
Oh. Well, you can sit here and talk with us, Miss Candace. Hey, Laura Jean. Are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
It's okay, Southern girl.
Hey,
I
Matthew.
Left.
They probably were, because they might have been, but Candace so bad she's not happy. She's like trying to, she says this stuff on YouTube channels because it's like a cry for help in a way. But at the same time, like, she's had opportunities. Like, I just wish she would have took the opportunity when she had it with Kathy or somebody. I mean, this guy is going to bring her down. And what I think's being what is happening here or being implied is that he left to go get drugs. He's always talked about how much when he drinks that he automatically wants cocaine. So, in the way she says that, when they ask why, why did Don leave? And Candace says, I can't say. Well, why couldn't she say? Obviously, it's for something that can't be said online. I don't know. Can you imagine Molly Golightly walking up to Fred Hill in like a low cut shirt, heels, and I don't know if Fred would be able to handle that. Hopefully it wasn't fire ants. Did you watch what? JLR was on Court TV with Vinnie Politan. Are you serious? What? Oh my God. Sorry, I'm not going to say anything. You guys, never mind. That's great. I mean, that is amazing. I mean, I'm happy for him. I'm just saying. That just shows you guys. I mean, this guy, JLR was in prison for many years. So you can change your life around. There's hope, guys. You could see him getting it on. I don't know. He wouldn't be able to pay attention. He's never probably seen something like that. They took it off Court TV. Oh. So once they realized who he was, they're like, just kidding. Yeah, I see it. Oh, thank you, my mother's eyes. It's so nice of you. Appreciate it. Well, we'll have to watch that. Maybe. I don't know. I don't want him to strike me though. Because even though it's Court TVs, they don't have it up on their site. So technically, JLR is going to be noted as the copyright owner. So, and I think I'm going to probably want to make fun of them. And I don't want... I don't know. Maybe I'll be impressed. I saw some clips. From what I saw, it wasn't an overly positive interview, like it wasn't in JLR's favor. Oh yeah, how's your brother doing after his surgery? Thanks, Kathy, for reminding me. My daughter thinks that Laura is so cute. Fred Hill's girlfriend. She's like, oh, she's so cute. Because she's just little, and I just don't think Fred has seen, he's lived on Ben Hill all his life. He hasn't been around like city girls. You know what I mean? I mean, this guy like rides horses for transportation. I don't think he does really now, but he very much did before. I don't think it since I've known him. He has horses, they're stored somewhere, but I don't. Right, Smokey? Well, what do we want to watch? Do we want to watch? You want to watch the JLR thing real quick? Or parts of it? Or do we want to go back to Fred? Because I mean, we've seen the Fred Hill thing many times, but I am curious to see what this is all about. He has a whole episode there, though. I'm going to find the part that JLR comes on. Actually, I'm trying to find the part when he comes on. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to. Oh. JLR is such a con man. I mean, I'm not saying he's like that really so much anymore, but what? Toaster oven? I can't put that comment up. Okay, well, they went ahead and did like whatever. I didn't hear her orgasm over a cookie. Wow, you just got home. Dang, you're gonna sleep good tonight. Okay, well, actually, I have to get up and for 1 second. So I put it to where we'll watch JLR here in a second, but let's continue this for just a couple minutes while I get up and do something real quick.
Not the crack fairy, Dawn. You weren't going around. He told me that he bought $2,000 worth of crack.
I'm supposed to be the meth dealer.
Yeah, well, he's trying to distract.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? It's not about, it's like, who cares about who's doing what drugs? Mm-hmm. He's just trying to distract.
I know.
You know what I mean? And
I feel like that Summer B would. I feel like she got drowned. That's the way I feel. The way they talk. I mean, within 3 hours, he done say she's dead. No remorse, no nothing. I mean, just.
You saw him. So you saw.
They come here
after they called 911. He came here.
Yeah, 3 hours.
And what was he doing? Was he high or drunk?
Yeah, he was drinking and stuff. It didn't act like it was nothing, you know.
And what did he tell you?
He just talking about religion and stuff, and talking about at least he gets there during the resurrection and all that.
That's totally.
I mean,
what
they told me right there that.
So when you say got gone, do you mean kidnapped or dead?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, he said she drowned. He feels like she drowned.
Oh, she drowned.
That's what he feels like. Okay. That they're covering
just
up.
Like that one picture of her. There's a picture on YouTube and stuff. Her at top of the water, and then she's about 2 feet under, and then she's about out of sight, and she's just floating like that.
Oh, on that TikTok video with Hunter. So, did those people? You remember those people that were down here, like with the? Mm-hmm. I'm not part of that group. I came at a bad time.
See, when Don and all them moved in here, they where that shed is, they put a single wide. Mm-hmm. They took and put a 4x8 piece of plywood up, advertising sex and stuff. Which, I mean, whatever you want, just like
with Summer.
Oh, with Rose, she was in on it.
Rose, like who?
Rose Bly. Well, that's missing.
So before you knew Rose Bly?
Huh?
You knew Rose Bly?
Yeah. Yeah, she she was in on that prostitution.
So you've known him for 10 years or more?
Yeah, I've lived here all my life.
So how did he end up over here?
That I don't know.
So he used to advertise like.
See, he drove his mom crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, put recording devices and stuff all through under her house and stuff, and just torment her to death. I mean, it's the stupid shit,
Wow.
you know.
That's just my daughter in there. I didn't know if it was safe until,
Okay.
but now you're cool and stuff. And
Yeah.
I'm so
It's
glad.
like a man I shot down here.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Are you the one that shot somebody in the neck?
Yeah. See, I didn't even know him when I went to court. He thought I was somebody else. He pulls up. I mean, he comes in here earlier at night. He owns the property on up in the hollow, and the man that owned my uncle owned that place. That's my grandmother's place. And when she passed away, one of my uncles ended up with it. Well, they had a little gunplay up there before, and then he thought I was James. You see, he even went and got his 18-year-old daughter and brought her back, put her driving coming in, put her right in the danger. She just.
Are you talking about Don?
No, I'm talking about
the guy
Yeah.
So you got in this altercation with him, and that's what happened. You shot him, and did he pass away, or he didn't pass away?
He put 10 rounds for a person.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody puts me out like I'm so bad, and
no, you seem like a great, nice guy.
Yeah.
You
and I'm nothing like the rest of them. I mean,
Did
that's why they don't like me, because I'm straight up.
Did the other guy? Did those other groups come over here and talk to you?
No.
So am I?
You're the first one, other than TBI.
Well,
see, I mean, even the cadaver dog stuff struck all the way up my driveway. But see, Dawn had been here.
Yeah. So you told TBI that Don had been here that day?
Yeah. I mean, the cadaver dog, they was here when talking to me, and they come up the road, and it was hitting about the bridge right there hard. They come up the road and went all the way up to that farthest vehicle you see on top, and was hitting on it. They never even opened the door, but they ain't nothing in it. I've looked. But I found some bones earlier today.
There were the cops over here?
I ain't calling nobody yet.
You found some.
Where are they at?
Man?
The next driveway down.
And there's how I found out about the bones, okay? So that's truly how I found out about. You saw in this short bit, well, it's not really short, but you could watch it on 1.5 and get it done in 15 minutes. And you hear how I meet Fred Hill. I mean, if you seriously think that I staged that whole thing, then I don't have anything to say to you. I mean, you are just going to have to, you're just nothing I say or do is going to be good enough. You know, because that's ridiculous. And I think people know better with me, but I do understand that it's hard to trust anybody on YouTube, but I mean, that's pretty over the top. Let's watch a second while because I'm curious to see what happened and the reason why it got taken down. When Fred talks about the KKK and let me see what else he said. And Beach Creek, yeah. I guess that's the only. I don't know what to say about that. Like, they do say positive things about the KKK, so that's kind of. I mean, you know, and it does seem to be pretty normal down there for people to say throughout the N-word. So I don't agree with it. But yeah, it does seem like there is a KKK presence in the area. It just feels like it. I mean, because how much it comes up in conversation. Like, I don't hear people out in my town talking about KKK. But you hear the KKK come up so much in Beach Creek when you talk to people. And a lot of them talk about them in a supportive way. And the Rose Bly info. I don't know what to think of that. I don't know. You know, I don't want to think something like that about a girl who's missing. I don't want to think it could be, but I don't know. I'm still, it's, Fred seems so sure that he's met her, but you know how, I mean, it has been a long time. That would have been, she would have been underage. Probably. She went missing in 2009 when she was, well, maybe not. She's going to a Klan meeting or, yeah, they called it a Klan meeting. I could have been like a different kind of Klan, not the KKK. I don't think so. I think it's the KKK because it's just so, it just seems to be a thing there. Hey, Sherry. You know, I like Fred, and his girlfriend, but I haven't heard him say any like racist things, but it does seem like they're supportive of the KKK. So, I don't agree with it. I do understand that some people think that they do good things for community and stuff, but I don't get behind anything that is done out of like prejudice or hate, even if there is other good deeds done, you know what I mean? But that, yeah, it is quite funny. That is very kind of, it is weird and funny how that kind of seems to work out. The people who are racist like that do tend to be the white trash. So it's like, so these hypocrites, people think they want to sit there and talk down about somebody else and because of skin color when they're making our race look bad. Like, who do they think they're better than? Really? You saw him in Klan garb? I haven't seen anybody dressed up in, I mean, besides on TV, obviously. Yeah, I can't tell if she was like just, it doesn't sound very safe. The way I think it, I could probably believe that she was just like spying to see, she might have just been spying on it. I don't know, cause just to see what they're all about. I could see being curious, but that sounds scary. I don't know. They look all creepy in those things and they're burning crosses and stuff. I don't want to be around them. I don't care if I'm white. I don't know. They look creepy. Now, my nanny did always claim that the Klan killed her father. That was like the family lore as to how he died, but if it's even true, that would have been like in the 30s. Oh, a Satan or worship? Yeah, I haven't seen something like that. Thank God. I would feel like I'd have to like pray for like a month straight. Was it you just walking through the woods or something? Did you see blood? Okay, let's go ahead and watch this because I am going to go here. I'm not going to be on it forever. I did want to talk about that, show that again. I want to see this because I'm interested. Black hooded robes, and there was a bonfire in the middle. Oh, we got gone real fast in a car, no blood. Probably, if there was any blood or anything like that, probably didn't want to stick around to look. So it was a nighttime. That is freaking creepy, dude. Does the time really change tonight? Hey, Alexa, does the time change tonight?
In Indiana, daylight saving time starts tomorrow at 2 a.m. and ends November 5th, 2023 at 2 a.m.
Thank you. You heard it here first. Time changes tonight. Thanks, Toaster Oven. So what's that mean? Is it going to be darker? Is that going to make it darker earlier? It's going to make it lighter later, right? Okay, good. Good. I hate the dark. It's depressing when it gets dark at like 5 p.m. I could see how that would suck for losing an hour of sleep. For those of you who have real jobs. And thank you for those who do, because somebody has to do it. Spring forward, fall back. Yep. Aren't they going to stop with the daylight savings though? Isn't this like the last year they're doing it? Like after this one or something? Where did I hear that at? I know. I do too, country girl. I don't know. It's depressing. There's definitely a thing as seasonal depression for sure. Just think of it. It's just the vibe, like nothing's better than a, warm, like not like hot, but just warm, comfortable summer night at like 8:30, and it's just getting dark, and it just feels like amazing outside, and there's lightning bugs. It's just like more happy. It's depressing when it's cold outside and dark at 5. Wiccan. I would believe that. I would believe that it was something more like that. I totally believe that she's some kind of freaking Satanist or something, or not a good type witch. Make lights for that. They cost a lot. Oh no. Don't mention snow. Are you serious? Oh my God. Please. I hope not. Joyce is a witch. I feel it. Yeah. I don't know. I totally do too, allegedly. For entertainment purposes only. Just my opinion, allegedly. Just my theory. I don't know. Go look at her mom's backyard and then tell me that there's not something freaking up with that whole atmosphere of it's the most creepiest backyard I've ever seen in my life. I'm sorry. It's just true. And I'm, if Jay Sue hears this, I'm sorry. It is very, very creepy. You have like dolls hanging from the ceiling or some weird shit. I don't know. It just looks creepy. The pool, the whole ambience, the pool is like all, oh. It's a charm. Not the missing fifth Holloway sister. Yes. You haven't seen my videos of her backyard? It is bad. They let that backyard go to shit. It's like Fred Hills, kind of, but like Fred at least has a reason because he works on vehicles. It's like that, but they're in town. Fred's out in the middle of nowhere. But Jace's mom's house is in town on a busy road, and it just looks trashy AF. Sorry, it does. If her wind chimes are made of bones. Let me see. You never saw her back here. Let me see if I could find one here. That's not her backyard. Um. Try this last one real quick. Nah, these are just the ones of driving by the. I'll find that, guys, and I'll show you. I have video of her backyard. It's pretty bad, guys. I'll have to find it though. It's not in my Jody Sue folder, so maybe it's in the Summer Wells folder. Or Tennessee trip. I don't know. Gosh. Well. Oh, well. All right. Let's watch this real quick. Oh, man. I don't know. I need to stop. I'm being judgmental. I don't like to be mean, but I'm sorry. Forgive me, God. But it's bad. Okay, so let's watch this clip of JLR here.
Live, and we were talking while we were waiting for the verdict. So I said, let's get the other side of the story. So joining me tonight in Tampa, Florida, host of Jonathan Lee Riches Investigates on YouTube, Jonathan Lee Riches is with us. Jonathan, great to see you.
Great to see you, Vinny. Thanks for having me on. Happy Friday.
All right. So what's your side of this story? We've got this allegation that you're following, perhaps stalking these folks at the courthouse. You're looking in the car. What's your version of what's been happening here?
So that's 100% not true, Vinny. I'm doing what every other media outlet is doing down at. First off, I don't really know who Brooklyn White is. I can, not to be mean, but I can care less about Brooklyn White. I'm more about Buster Murdaugh. I'm more about Buster and his role in possibly Stephen Smith. So while they were at the trial, I would ask Buster while he was going in and out of the court, what happened to Stephen Smith? Did you murder Stephen Smith? And then I also asked other questions about him getting.
I'm sorry, but he is one ugly dude. Good thing he has money, because there's no way he could ever get a girl like that if he did. I mean, oh my gosh, I'm being mean again, but he's creepy looking. He's just so, I mean, I feel like I could say that because the dude's got skeletons in his closet. Yeah, but it got taken off, I guess. I guess they took down this Court TV took down this episode with JLR because I guess it was bad or something. I don't know. He couldn't keep a straight face when he introduced him.
kicked out of law school for plagiarism or whatnot, but he would never answer. He was always quiet. He would just stare straight. And a lot of my subs and a lot of my followers on my Jonathan Lee Riches Investigates channels are suspect.
A lot of my subs on my Jonathan Lee Investigates, whatever his name is, channel on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe. And then come on, humble yourself just a little bit. Sorry.
Of that. They want to know why he doesn't answer that question. Because, you know, Stephen Smith's case is a mystery, you know, found on the side of the road in the middle of the night, July 8th, 2015, on a remote road right near Alex Murdaugh's home. And then there's a lot of rumors and speculations about the ties possibly between Stephen Smith and Buster. So, you know, I kept asking him questions. He wouldn't answer. So after the trial, you know, I seen a lot of media outlets down there at one of the homes Buster Murdaugh stays at in Hilton Head. So I went down there to see what was up, maybe tried to get Buster to answer the questions or, you know, try to get an interview out of him. And there's lots of media out there. It's a circus out in front of his house. There's lots of media taking pictures every time he comes out, walks his dog, every time he goes walking. And I was out there, and she actually, I guess Brooklyn, a female, walked out of the house and walked to her car, and some reporters started yelling questions at her about Buster. She immediately went in the house and closed these blinds, but then Buster like peeks out of the blinds, he looks, and then he closes the blinds. And then about 15 minutes later, the police come and then tell all the media outlets, well, you guys are on public property because it's a public road out there and a public sidewalk. You're not breaking the law. Just don't trespass on their property and just do not knock on their door, go on their property. And we all agreed, said, okay, fine. That's good. Thank you for your service because we back law enforcement. And I was sitting in the car, and then all the neighbors were coming out, shining flashlights at all the media's face saying, get out of here. You guys are media hounds. Get away, get away. And I left. And then next thing I know, I see that a police report has been filed.
Is this normal? Do they usually? I thought they only do when you get on these shows. Do you have some type of timer ticking so you know when you're? I'm being serious. I'm not trying to be funny. It just seems like he's been talking a very, very long time. I don't know, but I don't know. I do watch this show occasionally, but I've always wondered, do they have a timer so that they know when they're supposed to stop talking? Because he's like, thank you, Randaroo. I know, I feel bad for him kind of too, in a way, but have you watched the Murdaugh documentary? I don't know if you'll feel bad for him so much after that. If it wasn't for that, and if I didn't know about the Stephen Smith stuff, then I would feel really, really bad for him. So gay on court TV. Oh, man. Oh, man. One second. Saw a documentary. You fell asleep? It's so good. Look at just 12-year-old Justice for all. He's really pretty boy. You know what I mean? All right, let's continue. I just was curious about that. No, the Stephen Smith allegations is all due to Buster. Buster supposedly, there was supposedly it's rumored, okay? It's rumored around that area that Buster had a relationship with Stephen Smith on the DL, and Buster didn't want it to get out, and so that was the motive. Because it would really look bad for the Murdaugh name. So that's the theory. And then Paul was, a troubled child. But you got to think, look at who their dad was. But I feel bad for Buster because he's a kid technically, right? I don't know how old he is. He's a kid compared to me. And I just hate to see young people just like ruin their lives for the rest of their life or given no chance. And their dads, Alex Murdaugh should feel really, really ashamed and guilty because he not only murdered his wife and child, but his other child, he's like ruined his life because the kind of life what he subjected him to is like with the greed and the lies and addiction, just doing things, not being a good person. So yeah, initially, like when I first started watching this trial, I was really, I felt bad for him. And then I saw the documentary and I'm like, oh my God. I'm muted. Yeah, he did. He felt like he did feel like he was untouchable. Paul was 22 when he was killed. Can you guys hear me? Okay, you guys can hear me. Okay. That was like freaked me out there for a second. Okay, good. Thank you, Dee Dee. Let's continue here.
With my name and this woman here, I don't even know, name dropping. I could care less. Not to be mean again, I could care less about her. I'm not there for her. I'm there for Buster.
Let me bring in another guest in Columbia, South Carolina, criminal defense attorney Lori Murray. Lori, down in South Carolina, where's the line? Where's the line between investigative reporting, trying to get a story, asking questions of someone who's in a public controversy versus harassment or stalking or anything else? Where's the line in South Carolina?
Well, it's repeated unwanted contact. It's following them wherever they go. It is sitting outside their house and watching them and just making them feel like they are not free to move around. And honestly, I mean, that it is kind of what the media is doing. I'm not specifically mentioning your guest, but the media in general has been really hard on Buster, and he's going through a rough time. I think we have to all agree that he is going through a rough time. And if you have any empathy at all, then you have to recognize that. And he needs a little space to get over it. He needs a little space to be able to walk his dog. But there is
so how much space? I mean, if someone is walking down a public street, can we ask them questions in South Carolina?
I mean, you can, but it's his right not to answer them. And I don't think that I mean, I don't know why we have to take something away from the fact that he wouldn't answer his questions. I wouldn't answer his questions. I would ignore him too, because if he gives one guy questions, they're just going to keep flying at him. And honestly, it's paparazzi. It's, you know, it's just, it's none of the Murdochs wanted any part of that. But, you know, there is a point to this.
I can understand her point, and I just wanted to comment. I really liked her makeup. I didn't know that JLR had been following this so closely. I mean, some people just don't have shame. I'm sorry. They'll do anything for a view. And it is what it is. The lady has a point, though. You don't have to. It's true. These people get bombarded, nonstop. And of course, if there's several media outside the house, if they answer your question, then, they're going to get they're going to have to answer everybody's questions, and then they won't leave them alone. But if they just ignore them from the jump and just keep ignoring them, maybe they'll go away. But if they every once in a while answer a question, they're going to stick around, because then the media is going to think, oh, well, maybe they'll answer a question because, they answered this question, or, you know what I mean? So, of course, and I don't blame him for not answering this question either. I mean, right now, Buster is technically innocent. He doesn't have any charges. So, we have to treat him as an innocent person. So, if we look at him like that, yeah, he's been through a lot. I agree, have empathy. I agree with the lady with having empathy, but it is hard to think that he possibly was involved with that boy's death. But I think some rumors was that it was Alex, got somebody to do, who knows? There's all kinds of rumors going on about it. But what the heck? He was looking at her car. Buster Brown shoes. His legal name's not actually Buster. If you look at the court documents, you'll see that. It's just a nickname. But, they call him that like it's actually his name. But I promise you, if you look at the court documents when they're referring to the children, his name is actually he's a junior. His name's exactly the same as his dad's. I don't see a problem with going down to these to the courthouse and stuff like that, and going by the house and checking it out, and maybe attempting to ask a question. But if they don't talk to you, I don't know. I don't like harassing people. It makes me really uncomfortable. The only time I've ever showed up at a house uninvited, as far as walked up to the door and knocked, was Jason Arnold's mom. And thankfully she was a really nice lady. We ended up talking for 2 hours. Cutest little thing. Richard Alexander. Isn't it Richard Alexander Randolph Murdaugh or something? Some really long, crazy name. But Buster was a nickname of the grandfather too. So probably Senior. His name was probably also, a Richard Alexander. It's funny because media people, yeah, I know, because I know he's trying too hard, but Ziggy, you lie. Okay, about what? Send it to my email and tell me what with proof, please. Good Lord. Oh no, Alex Murdaugh is Richard. Yes, his real name's Richard Alexander. Richard Alexander Randolph or something like Randolph. Is that true? Isn't there a Randolph in there? I'm saying if you like run into them, Smokey, like if you're going by their house and you see them, I don't say like camping out there for out. Like I would maybe drive by a house and just to check it out, see the house, whatever. But and I might talk to some people sitting out there for a little bit, but I just can't see myself like I don't think I would do. I mean, I was asked to go with that group, before I was asked by some people to be part of that group where we would the whole heels on the ground or boots on the ground or whatever. But I don't know. I'm a loner. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's true. He's one of those. He's one of those, like, I don't know what the disorder is called, and no disrespect at all. But he's one of those people that likes good or bad attention, whatever attention he can get. He doesn't have shame, So, I mean, this is a guy who has the world record for filed lawsuits at the most ridiculous things. I think he was just bored or something. Yeah, that's sad about Princess Diana. You got me thinking about Princess Diana now and how crazy that was, that whole situation. All right, let's continue.
These 2 reports. They have to have 2 reports to get a restraining order against the police. So that's why they've called the police. That's why they have reported this to police. I'm sure it's nothing personal against your guest. I'm sorry, I cannot remember your name.
Jonathan.
But Jonathan, thank you. I appreciate that. Sorry. But I'm sure it's nothing personal against you, but you have to have 2 police reports to get a restraining order. And this restraining order will go more than likely, if the judge is smart enough, against all media, not just you personally, but against all media back off of Buster and his residence.
I just want a little more clarity, right? Because I've been in news for a long time. I mean, you go back to 60 Minutes, Mike Wallace chasing people, right? So what's the difference? Like, what's the difference here between a situation like that? Is it how close in physical proximity you get to him, or how often you are close to him in South Carolina?
I can't tell you. I can only tell you what our statute said. I don't know where he was. I don't know what their statute was. I know that over time, we have gotten a whole lot stricter on stalking laws. There've been, especially in South Carolina, we had I think this is actually a new stalking law that is on our books. And I say new because it was new to me. It's probably 20 years old now. But there was a reason that stalking law was enacted. It wasn't because of media, but it applies to everybody. That harassment, to get the restraining order, you have to have the 2 police reports.
So, Jonathan, have you been contacted personally by law enforcement or by anyone representing Brooklyn?
You just heard it there from, was she a lawyer? And I've said it on here before, you have to have 2 or more incidences to get a protective order. Same to get harassment charges. Yeah, I don't think I don't really like it either, Smokey. I mean, just because I'm not I go about it a different way. I feel like I just approach it differently. Like, I approach people differently. You know what I mean? That's just my preference. Like, it's not my way to try to get an interview with Dawn or somebody, whoever. I think you get more bees with honey. Seriously, you get people who will, but then you got that fine line that is like, oh, you're, kissing their ass, or you're befriending a criminal or a suspect. But really, if you look at it as just investigative work, as an investigative journalist, kind of like like anybody on the news does, or something, it doesn't mean that if you interview Don Wells that you have to agree with him. But like I said, more bees with honey, so you have to be respectful, you would think, but I don't know. Don, he'll talk to anybody. It's almost like he likes to abuse.
Or Buster?
No, law enforcement, again, they came out that day and said that we were all following the law. We were on a public sidewalk, public road. We have the right to be there. Just don't, violate by going onto someone else's property trespass. I want to add that, if Buster Murdoch said out of his own mouth to me personally, hey, leave me alone, I would leave him alone. I would walk away. But I haven't heard nothing out of his mouth. As far as Brooklyn, I don't know her, and I can care less about her. This is about getting questions from Buster. Maybe he should tell people he doesn't want to speak. But the fact that he's silent, we don't know if he wants to speak or not. He hasn't said to anyone, hey, I don't want to talk, or leave me alone. He has yet to say that.
So you're down in Tampa right now, Jonathan. You on a different story? Or are you going back to South Carolina?
I am. I'm going to follow the financial crimes of the Murdoch family. Lori Vallow Daybell is going on trial in Idaho starting April 3rd. I am planning to go out there. Also cover the Moscow, Idaho case with Brian Kohlberger, preliminary hearing.
I have a feeling I'm going to be seeing a lot of you, Jonathan. I'm going to be seeing a lot of you. I'm going all these cases. All right.
Vinny, I'm all over. And that's my job. And I know that, there's laws you have to.
He's annoyed. Vinny's annoyed. Yeah. JLR had to add in there, I'm going after for those financial crimes. Ziggy's warming up to Buster. You think I'm going to try it? No, I'm not. Obviously, Buster's not going to talk. I don't want to. I mean, the guy has a lot. He needs a little bit of a break. If I were Buster, I seriously would go somewhere for like, if he can escape for like 2 weeks or something, or even a month, somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Rent a cabin in the middle of nowhere or something. You know, he needs something like that. Yeah, because they look at it as the negative attention. I don't know. Somehow they're able to turn around in their head that like, oh, it's just, oh, we're just on to something. So that's why they don't want us doing, why they're giving me a hard time, or somehow these people are able to twist it around in their heads to make it okay to harass people to this point. He did admit his financial crimes, but I mean, I think he just knows he's screwed. Or I think he weighed it out. He's like balanced it out, said, would I rather admit which one? I'd rather admit to the financial crimes. If I admit to those, then it would look like I'm honest. And I don't want to be labeled a murderer.
Follow, and I try my best to follow them.
All right, and I wanted to make sure that you knew what you can and can't do in South Carolina. That's why I brought in Lori Murray. She's the best of the best down there. So don't get arrested.
She seems very smart.
Yeah, she is.
Well, and here's the thing.
We have 15 seconds. Go ahead. Last word,
15
Lori.
seconds. You did not break the law necessarily. They're filing these police reports just to get a restraining order. It's nothing personal against you. It's just to get the restraining order. They're not seeking to press charges against you.
We got to the bottom of it.
Thank you for the clarification.
Fantastic. Jonathan Lee Riches, YouTube.
Thank you, Vinny.
Thank you
Love
so
you.
much. Lori Murray, appreciate your valuable time every time you have you on. All right, when we come back, Gwyneth Paltrow is scheduled to have a trial right here on Court TV. Yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow. It involves something that happened on the slopes at Deer Valley. That story when we return.
What's that about? I never heard of the Gwyneth Paltrow thing. Well, I didn't think it was too bad. I mean, he's a little obnoxious, but I don't see why. Maybe they figured out, look into him, and I don't know what made him take it down. I think obviously they knew he was obnoxious because they were bringing him on there to talk about a chart or a police report made against him. So they knew he was annoying, but he asked him if he was on probation. That's right. Exactly. Good point. Nobody cares anymore about serious. I feel bad for the families and stuff and the people who lost money. Hopefully, in some ways, there's some kind of insurance or something that they get their money back. Hopefully, there is some way they can recoup. But he admitted them all. What is there to investigate? I mean, you can look into the Stephen Smith thing with Buster, but, Paul is deceased. Maggie's deceased. So you can't, get them for anything. The Pops is in prison for the rest of his life anyways, and admitted to all his crimes to try to look like he was honest, like an honest person. I don't know. I wouldn't be very interested in looking into the financial crimes, really. They took the interview with Cher down and really? I didn't know Cher. What was Cher on there for? Interesting. Wow. I just thought the proof that Maleficent is Shannon Lynn. That's crazy. Who is Shannon Lynn, though? I wonder if I'm pretty sure, though, that Maleficent's from another country. I don't know. She acts like I just like I don't understand. She really has a vendetta against me. Lately, she hasn't been too bad. I didn't realize. It's just, I mean, she hasn't done anything recently that I know of. I don't pay attention to her. But this whole thing that's come up recently, back again after a year later, it just shows like what misinformation does. And I looked like an ass because I should have looked into that clip more, I guess, but the way it was, and it wasn't really when evil entered to be blamed either. It's but it's one thing we do know. Maleficent purposely put the clip out and put that up like that, knowing what she was doing, because she had to have watched it if she clipped it, and she had to have seen that Squall was just reading somebody's comment. Why, who's Shannon Lynn? Who is Shannon Lynn? Dee Dee? I know I was just talking about your message scroll or your text. I didn't know if you wanted me to say it was from you, but I'm glad to know I have your right number, because I'm glad you got my apology, because I didn't know if you saw that video last night, but I knew it would get it to you, and I was wrong. I should have known better. Like, I don't know though. That's the thing. It's like people clip these to make it look like a certain way, and why I just don't understand why people would do that. It's supposed to, if you're looking for or trying to do what's best for Summer, why would you put out misinformation in the case, like, purposely? There's enough of that as is. This is what nuh-uh. Are you serious? Are you fucking serious? No way. She's not from outside the country? What? It's the Shannon. Are you serious? Is that really her? Dude, I'll beat that bitch. Are you serious? No, I won't. I won't do that. I won't do that. But that explains a lot. No. Are you sure? Wow. But she's accused me of making fun or of making a mockery of her mother's death, and her mother was is from Australia or something, or the UK. So that's what doesn't make sense. I was positive that Maleficent was from out of the country. I'm wondering if her name's also if her name is Shannon Lynn, but it's just a different Shannon Lynn. Because I'm pretty sure she's out of the country. Yeah, I see. It's the same. Like, I wonder if her name's just Shannon Lynn and it's not actually that Shannon. Because this lady has been after me. I mean, she hasn't been bothering me lately. I'll give her that I know of. I don't pay attention to her, but she was like one of my biggest haters for so long because I used to have this lady called Scooby Doo or Shooby, or what was her name? Scooby Dooby Doo or something. And or Shooby Doo, I forget, but one day she used to come in our chats and stuff, and then one day supposedly he claimed to be her brother came in my chat and told everybody she had passed away. Well, anyways, some stuff had happen and whatever. It's a long story that I had mentioned. It had become something that we discussed on the channel. I can't remember exactly why, about whether we believed that was actually legitimate, like if she really did pass away. Anyways, Maleficent claims that Scooby-Doo or Shooby-Doo, whatever her name was her mom. And I know for a fact that lady's from overseas. No, I'm not mad at a school. Yeah, because I was wrong. Because of that clip that Maleficent put out. Here, I guess we'll show it one more time for those who haven't heard it, but it's resurfaced. Actually.
Christy Vincent introduced Ziggy to Fred Hill.
See, it was Squall's channel that it originally came from, but how it happened is she was just reading a comment. She wasn't stating that as a fact. She was reading a comment. And from what I hear, she responded and told a person that that wasn't true or something, or not to spread misinformation, or not to say things that they don't know for sure. I don't know. From my understanding, that's what I've been told, that Squall actually was like, didn't even really entertain that. She was just reading comment, and Maleficent here decides to clip it perfectly to fit her agenda. But this was a year ago, and it's resurfaced, and somehow, I don't know if it was Killer Looks or when Evil entered, who I both like. I mean, I don't have a problem with either of them, because both of them had posted something about it. But in the background, when the Evil entered, is this clip over and over again. So I was kind of pissed at when Evil, not really when, I was at first pissed at when Evil entered, and then I was like, oh, when I found out it was Squall in the background, I was just like really mad, because I was like, what the hell, And I text Squall like kind of a shitty message, and then come to find out, like, you know what I mean? So I looked like an ass because I was that's not even how it was context is so important. Context is so important, and these people do this shit on purpose. Just because they don't like somebody, why do you have to put out misinformation and missing girls' case just because you don't like me or you don't like Christy? Like, gosh. So it is good though. Just, you see another screenshot? Okay, thank you. Here, let me show you guys this one. I'm emailing it to myself real quick. Yeah, I see it. I don't recognize the screen name. I don't know why it's not emailing to me though. Oh, there it is. There we go. So here's in the chat. This is Squall's chat. And this is what she was responding to during the live. She was introduced to Fred by Christy Vincent. Get that. Who the hell are you, Kaylee Kane? Behind a cartoon avatar. I've never heard that name. And she met Dawn and Candace. Like, people act like where do they pull this shit out of? I understand Christy, she didn't even live in that. She hasn't even lived in that area forever. People don't understand that. Her husband practices there, but she's been staying in South Carolina for like 5 years. She comes up every once in a while, and he goes down there. Like, I don't know how often, but a couple times a month, I think. She comes up to Tennessee sometimes, but they've been doing that just here recently, and she's Or she's been staying there down there for 5 years. So no, she didn't take freaking summer. It was last night that I kind of went off on you, Squall. Sorry. That's why I wanted to just clear it up, because I feel if you put something out that's wrong, if you put something out wrong that's while live, then you should correct it while live, So it just it's irritating though how I just wish people would think about this stuff before they put out clip stuff that way, and just because they don't like me. Does anybody know who Kayla Kane is? Are you still in that area, Toaster? In Kingsport area? Hopefully your things have gotten better for you. I remember you from the vigil. You stood out to me. I was not feeling good that day. I was not. I felt so horrible. It was so miserably hot. Oh my God. And that sunscreen I had on my face was going in it was like BB cream or something was going in my eyes, and it burned so bad. It was miserable. That's why I hate foundations and BB creams and stuff with SPF in it, because it burns your eyes like horribly. We're believing it's fictitious. Let me see. Remember message I wrote before the first. I didn't get a message before the screenshot. You just sent me the screenshot. All I got was a screenshot while I was live of the where it shows Maleficent and then the Shannon Lynn. And then the second screenshot of this right here, and then I saw the message that Kayla Kane screen name that put it in chat. I'm not sure. I don't know who that is though. If it was Maleficent, I mean, I suppose it could be. I don't know that though. Anyways, guys, I think I'm gonna go. It's been fun. It's been real. Let's see. She has sent me something. Hold on. Hold on, guys. I'm reading this message from school. Oh, I see. That makes sense. I get that. Yeah. I believe that. So Squall's theory is that Maleficent purposely dropped that or put that message in the chat so Squall would repeat it, and then she could clip it and use it in a video. That's totally possible. Because there is a lot of people, a lot of subs, and Maleficent, I wouldn't even call her a creator. I call her a sub, really. But she I don't know, all she does is clip things to try to make people look bad, and she's hateful and mean and an ugly person. I mean, I'm sorry, she just is. But I could see her doing something like that. Either way, she did. I mean, I could see her, being this Kayla Kane and then putting that in the chat so that Squall would talk about it or either read her message, and then, it gets put out there. It spreads like wildfire. Even though, so most people are like, why is that even a big deal if Christy did introduce her to Fred? But I think it all goes back to the whole Chase thing, and the lies that were said about Christy with Chase. She was lied to just like the rest of us, and tricked, and you guys, and except she lost like $8,000 out of it. And it was all supposed to be something for good, in memory of a child. And I don't know how people can, why people do that besides just jealousy, I guess. People, because they can't do something like that, or I don't know. People don't get it. Like Christy has told me that people don't understand what I had to, go through. She's definitely struggled in her life and knows what it's like to struggle, and that's why she tries to help the way she does. Her and her husband. I think Maleficent's mother. I don't know if her name supposedly Sherry. It sounded like Sherry. Is that really her name? Because she sounded like Sherry Mullaney. She had a hard time talking and stuff. She had a temper. What was her name as far as her username? It wasn't Scooby-Doo. What was it? It was something she got from Doug. From Doug's channel. What did he used to say? Instead of Scooby-Doo, he said something else. No, you're right. You did hear something about deceased. That's why Maleficent got upset with me, because I questioned whether or not that was true, if the Scooby-Doo lady had passed away, and Maleficent claims that's her mother. And then she started sending me pictures of her in a casket and stuff, or somebody in a casket. I'm like, oh my gosh, calm down. And I apologized and stuff, but she just never quit. She just wants to be angry. Some people just want to be angry because they're, she's probably hurting from her mom's passing or something, and taking it out on other people. It's quite common around these parts. All right, guys, I'm going to go, but thank you so much for hanging out, and I will see you all tomorrow.